In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you some advice on how to prepare for a remote job interview. So let's get started with technical preparations. You do not want to be in a situation where you are literally minutes away from the interview and you find that your microphone or your web camera or your internet is unstable. That is just going to add so much more additional stress. So it's important to prepare and test your headphones, your microphone, your video web camera, and also make sure that you have a stable, reliable internet connection. Another piece of advice is to make sure that you have a test interview with a family member or friend. When you get your interview invite, you will have an idea of the type of software that they're going to be using. It could be Google Meet, it could be Zoom, it could be Microsoft Teams. Whatever the software is, make sure that you have the test call using that software. That way, you are going to learn how to use it before the interview, and you can also test the audio and the video quality and the internet stability and all of that good stuff. So make sure you do a test interview. So technical preparation aside, the next step is really thinking about the environment. As you can see here, I've got a plant behind me, I've got a plain wall, so spend some time preparing your background. Make sure that you don't have loads of clutter, because what message does that send to an interviewer when they can see things all around you? Make sure it's presentable, make sure it's professional, and that you look well organized. Also, make sure that the room is well lit. Now, I'm in my apartment, I'm using the sun from the window at the side of me, which isn't the best, to be completely honest, but if you can sit opposite a window, then you're going to get natural sunlight on your face. What you have to be careful though is that your face isn't blown out by the sunlight, especially on a very sunny day, so bear that in mind. Now, when it comes to having an interview, it's really important that you don't have any distractions. You don't want kids running around the room causing havoc. Now, obviously, there's nothing you can do when you've got kids at home, but try and keep the distractions to a minimum. Make sure that you tell people that you are having an interview at this time and to be quiet when they're in the home. You don't want somebody walking into your kitchen when you're having an interview, switching on the kettle or having a conversation with you. Make sure that you communicate that you are having an interview when you are living with other people, and that you keep the distractions and background noise to a minimum. The next part of the preparation is how smart you look. Just because you are being interviewed at home, it doesn't mean that you can have an interview in your pajamas or you have a nice shirt and tie on, but underneath you are wearing your boxer shorts or underwear, and you have to emergency get up to close a window or close the door, and yeah, that can be embarrassing. Make sure that you are dressed to impress. Make sure that you are dressed head to toe and you are looking professional. My next piece of advice is about practice makes perfect. As I mentioned earlier in the video, make sure that you are having a mock interview or two with a family member or friend. Not only is it going to test out the technical side, as we've mentioned, but also it's going to prepare you for the interview. Think about what type of questions they are likely to ask you based on the role, the industry and the company. Do your research on the company. Also think about the common questions they're going to ask about remote working and about how important it is to have strong communication skills and being well organized and able to meet deadlines, and those kind of personality traits which are really important. Also, prepare questions that you can ask the interviewer. You want to come across that you've done some research on the company. So ask questions around the role, around the company and industry, and also think about the goals for that company as well and how you can form some questions from it. What's really important is that you don't create like a script and you talk like a robot. Be human, be personable, show your personality and how you are in a working day environment. That's important. So I have some final pieces of advice. Hold on, don't go anywhere. This is really important. Tip number 1, be ready early. Get there 5-10 minutes before the call and make sure that everything is working properly. Test your audio, test your video, make sure the environment around you is set up, make sure that it's distraction free, that the lighting is good. Just do those final preparations. Deep breaths, take time to be calm. My second tip is for when you are having the interview, maintain eye contact by looking into the camera. Don't look around on the screen, look into the camera so that you are looking at the person who has been interviewing you. Really important to have that eye contact. Have little sticky notes on your laptop or desktop computer and just remind yourself to take it slow, to breathe, to take time to answer questions. You do not need to give an instant response straight away. Take your time. My next tip is about a task that I feel remote job seekers do not do, and that is reaching out to the person that interviewed you to thank them for interviewing you. Do that around 24 hours after the interview call. Just thank them, keep it short. If there are any points that you don't feel that you got across, just include a few little bullet points and leave it at that. Really think about the subject of that email. Make sure that it stands out so that they can see it in their inbox. But yes, just reaching out, thanking them for the interview, just clarifying any points that you want to get across and leave it at that. And hopefully that will send a good impression that you are keen for the job. And if there's anything that you've missed in the interview, the email will help back those points up. And down in the description, I've left a link to a number of guides that I highly recommend that you check out. In your own time, just check these guides out, get more information about remote job interviews, but it's so important to be prepared. Hope you found it useful. I'll be back very soon. Oh, don't forget to leave me any questions down in the comments, and I've left a video somewhere on the screen. I'm gonna go. I'll see you all soon. Take care.